For those of us who have been there, an affair can be full of turbulent emotions and strong feelings. There's a thrill of it, the intense physical passion, but there's also the fear, shame, and doubt that comes with secrecy. Does he really love me? Can I trust him? He tells you he does, but he hasn't lived up to his promises. He still hasn't left his wife. It's only natural to wonder if he'll ever leave her for you. In most circumstances, unfortunate to say, he probably won't. In this video, I will take you through 7 signs he won't leave his wife. After that, we'll talk about the reasons why he's stringing you along. Most importantly, I want to show you some great ways to take proactive steps forward, because frankly, an affair can't last forever. Sooner or later, something has to change. So now, here are 7 signs he's not leaving her. Number 1, he never tells you he wants to. This sign might seem obvious, but it is one of the biggest. You might not want to breach the subject yourself, so it just doesn't come up. But wait, he keeps telling you how much he loves you, cares about you, or really just enjoys his time with you. Doesn't that mean he wants to leave his wife? No, not necessarily. The two of you could have extraordinary chemistry, but if he doesn't tell you he wants to leave his wife for you, he probably won't. There's no point in hoping that one day he'll come to you and say that he's ended things with his wife. If it seems important enough to you to know if he's thought about leaving her, find a good time and start up a conversation about it. Number 2, how does he talk about his wife? You can find out a lot about the way that he views his wife by listening to him talk about her. Or wait, does he talk about her at all? This is actually an important thing to note, and here's why. If he never brings her up at all, he's pretty much saying that you and his life with his family are completely separate, and he wants to keep it that way. He likes having a mistress who doesn't remind him of his other life, or the responsibilities and commitment that come with a real relationship. He could also be searching for a solution to the emotional isolation he feels in his marriage. But what if he only ever talks bad about her? That's a good sign, right? Here's the thing though, it probably isn't. He's likely just telling you what he thinks you want to hear. He might not be being entirely truthful. If he really is looking to leave his wife, he'll likely have come to terms with both the bad and the good. That's going to affect the way he talks about it. He'll talk about the problems in the marriage, why he thinks it's not working, but he'll talk about the good things too, and he won't shy away from saying nice things about his wife. To reiterate, you can learn so much about the way he views his wife by listening to what he has to say about her. Number 3, you haven't triggered his hero instinct. If you want to understand what motivates a married man who's having an affair, then you need to tap into his psychology. You may have heard about the hero instinct. It's a new concept in relationship psychology that's generating a lot of buzz at the moment. It goes to the heart of why some men leave their wives for someone else they love, while others won't ever make that move. What it boils down to is that men have a biological drive to provide for and protect the woman they care about. They want to step up to the plate for them in a way no other man can. In other words, men want to be your everyday hero. I personally believe that there is a lot of truth to the hero instinct. The key is to making sure that his urge to provide for and protect is directly squarely at you, rather than his wife. This isn't hard to do. If his wife was providing him what he needs from a relationship, he wouldn't be searching for it elsewhere. How do you trigger his hero instinct? The best thing you can do is watch the free video that I've shared in the description below from the relationship expert who discovered the concept. He reveals the simple things you can do starting today. By following these simple tips, you can tap into his protective instincts and the most noble aspects of his masculinity. Most importantly, it will unleash his deepest feelings of attraction towards you. Some ideas are game changers, and when it comes to keeping a married man, this is one of them. Check out the excellent free video in the description below. Number 4, he has children. Children greatly complicate a cheating relationship. There's a reason people tend to think of children as the innocent bystanders in a divorce, regardless of the reason. They don't have anything to do with their parents' relationship problems, but they deal directly with the fallout. If you're cheating on a man with kids, he has a strong reason to keep his family intact. He loves his children more than anything, even if he resents everything else about his life, even his wife. The point? It greatly reduces the chances of him leaving his wife for you. Number 5, he talks about future plans that involve his family. Men are dreamers and planners. They think about the future, their goals, what they want to accomplish. and they like to imagine who's going to be there with them while they reach their goals. Think about it. If your man talks about future plans that involve his family, do you think he's going to leave them anytime soon? It's likely that he won't. However, if he includes you in his plans for the future, at least take comfort in knowing that you're really important to him, even if he doesn't leave his family for you. Number 6. Your relationship is purely physical. Many cheating relationships are founded on physical passion. A lot of guys cheat on their wives just for the sexual side of it. They may not think their wife is unattractive, but they may feel bored. The catch here is that a surprising amount of men also cheat for emotional reasons. The point is that you have to understand the nature of your relationship. A purely physical relationship is a lot less likely to inspire him to leave his wife for you. His wife is still giving him a lot of emotional and other support that he doesn't want from his mistress. As bad as it sounds, he really only wants you for your sex. Number 7. He makes a habit of cancelling on you. No matter the type of relationship, cheating or not, and no matter the gender, this is a telltale sign that the person you're with doesn't think you're important, or that they just aren't interested in you. In this instance, it means that his family and wife are more important to him than you. And if that's the case, he's unlikely to leave them behind for you. Does he promise to meet up with you only to cancel at the last minute? Is there always some kind of excuse for why he can't see you? Obviously, if he's cheating on his wife with you, he's going to have to do a lot of arranging to make time for you. There are bound to be times he has to cancel or change plans. That in and of itself is one of the reasons a cheating relationship can be so unhealthy. It's unfair for his wife and it's unfair for you. And that's because you're always going to end up in second place. Number 8. He doesn't want to deal with divorce. The thing about divorce is that it's messy and expensive. How messy and expensive? Well, that depends on the state of things with his wife. Do they share a lot of property? Do they have kids? It all plays a big role in the final price tag. Expect him to pay around $7,000 to be with you. And no matter what the final price is, it's still a massive headache and emotional burden unlike any other. He has to extricate his life from hers. He has to find a new place to live if he doesn't get the house. All of his stuff has to be separated from hers. Essentially, the point is that his entire life has to be completely changed if he gets a divorce. Does he think you're worth it? He might, but he might not. Either way, divorce is a big reason why he might decide not to leave his wife at all. How to make proactive change. Coming to the realization that your man is never going to leave his wife for you is a difficult one. That being said, every relationship is different, and maybe you've thought about things and decided that it's still possible. In either scenario, the state of an affair as it stands is unhealthy, unfair, and unsustainable. In either scenario, something has to change. So, how can you do it? How can you change things for the positive? It starts with you. Ask yourself, what do I want to see changed? More importantly, ask yourself, what do I need to be healthy and happy? It might take some serious soul searching. You might realize that no matter how much you love him, you have to end things. When you break up with him, you take the power back for yourself. You're no longer just a pawn in his game. That kind of decisive action could lead him to reconsider things in his life too, and make proactive changes the same as you. What else can you do? You can give him a timeline. Tell him your relationship can't continue the way it is. Ask him if he'd be willing to leave his wife for you. Don't demand an answer immediately, but tell him that if he doesn't make you more important in his life, then you'll need to move on. You could also start seeing other people. Now, if you just can't get yourself to doing that and you really want to be with this married man, and you think it's the best for everyone involved, then you need to check out the video on the hero instinct in the description below that I mentioned before. The hero instinct is probably the best kept secret in relationship psychology. If you need to know one way or another whether your relationship has a shot beyond his marriage, then the hero instinct is your answer. It holds the key to getting your man to fully commit to your relationship, and hopefully the trigger to leave his unhappy marriage in the process. One reason he might be lost in his own marriage is because his hero instinct hasn't been triggered by his wife. All men have this basic biological urge to be needed and wanted. No, he doesn't want to pop on a cape and come to your rescue. But on his own level, he does have the urge to be the hero to the woman in his life. If that woman isn't his wife, then it's the perfect opportunity to make it you. So where do you start? It's about taking actions to trigger the hero instinct to get the ball rolling. Simply start with a free video that I've shared in the description below and discover everything you need to know. The term was first coined by relationship expert James Bauer, and it really is the best kept relationship secret there is. By watching the video, you will discover actionable steps you can take to trigger his hero instinct and be well on the way to the life you want. When you trigger his hero instinct, you're giving the one thing he wants above all else. So check out the quick video about the hero instinct and win your man over today.